Welcome back, welcome back. Welcome to Dominant Mets Nation. Thank you so much for returning. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate everybody who took the chance to give me an opportunity. And thank you for being here. That's all I could say. Our New York Mets. The trade deadline is upon us, and we are 2 short days away from this trade deadline concluding. And boy, oh boy, we will have a lot to talk about in these next 2 days. A lot of players still left to be dealt. A lot of stuff going on. In this video today, we're going to be examining the Mets' future. We are going to be examining their top prospects, their future outlook, future salary situation, their major philosophical change in the last two days, basically 2 or 3 days, mainly when they started trading David Robertson. And I was just thinking about this. Just 4 short months ago, we went into the season as the highest payroll in Major League Baseball history with really a hope of winning the World Series this year, hopefully taking this rotation, this old rotation, into next year. And right now we know the rotation is broken up, so we know that is not going to happen, but we are going to get into all of that. We have some rumors to discuss, many rumors discussing Justin Verlander going to said familiar places. We have rumors involving the Phillies and players from the New York Mets, so we're going to examine that as well. And I want to start off here. And first, before I could start off, I thank everybody, especially everybody leaving their well thought out comments, participating in our comment section, and all that you do for the channel. I cannot thank you enough. I just find it phenomenal and amazing. We have such intelligent, smart people. I get educated every single day, and it's so fun and enjoyable to do this. And like I said, I cannot thank you enough. I'm actually blown away by some of the things I read, some of the comments, the feedback. Please, anything, drop a comment on anything. I really appreciate it. Like and subscribe to the channel. We love our New York Mets at this channel. We love baseball. If you do too, you know what? Drop a like. Subscribe. This sounds like the channel for you. Okay, so let's get going into today's video. And I want to start off with a comment by Billy Epler. And they asked Billy Epler a comment about what's going on with the New York Mets' future and our just sudden shift in philosophy. It seems like the money we're going to be saving for next year, it's coming off the payroll. Max Scherzer, we're paying half of his contract, so we're saving money, right? We're doing that. And are we necessarily saving money? We're still paying half his contract. So Billy Epler responds like, what we're doing is we are repurposing the money. That's all we're doing. Basically, that money, we are still paying half to Max Scherzer, but by doing that, we can stock up our much-needed farm system, which is the lack of talent. I mean, we have a few guys here and there, but we have no pitching talent. And you see, we have 2 guys added to our top 10. 2 guys. Acuna, who was just acquired yesterday in the Max Scherzer trade, is our number 2 prospect already. Vargas, I believe, is our number 6 or 7 prospect, depending on where you look. So we already bolstered our top 10 with these first 2 trades. So that is very exciting to see. But I just found it interesting the way Epler spins it. Like, we're still spending the money. We're just using that money way differently. Instead of to invest it in the team, we're investing it in the organization. So I thought that was a quite kind of like interesting type of salesy type of spin. But as long as the organization is better and Steve Cohen has the resources, God bless him. Let us enjoy it as Met fans. Hopefully we can bolster this farm system and hopefully be a top farm system in the near future, and that really helps us supplement our major league roster and talent in the future. So I like that. I really do. And I'm a guy, I love looking at prospects. I love seeing young potential prospects on our franchise, so that's a good thing. So keep those young prospects coming. I want to trade away everybody. I made a video a couple of days ago, and I said the Mets have to trade 13 guys. 13 guys. And just to go back to that, who I did mention, and let me start off with the first 10. I had Tommy Pham. I had Mark Canha. I had David Robertson. Goodbye. So that's one guy. Brooks Raley, Adam Ottavino, Max Scherzer. He's gone. Justin Verlander, Omar Narvaez, Daniel Vogelbach, Carlos Carrasco, and Jose Quintana. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 guys right there. Then I also had guys like Guillermo, Jeff McNeil. I know Starling Marte is injured, but those are also additional guys who I had added that. So I'm like, I had 13 guys that Billy Epler had to get out of here. So Billy Epler obviously is a very busy man right now. He's trying to reshape the team. He is trying to reshape the organization, minor league system as well. And like I said, if you've seen my videos in the past, you know I don't have confidence in Billy Epler, but we have to, the cards are as they are dealt. Billy Epler is our GM at the moment, so we have to make the best of it. In the offseason, we can talk about alternate candidates. I know David Stearns of the Brewers has been a name that has been bandied about, a very talented front office executive. I'm hoping that he can, I'm not really sure who else would be available. He seems like the top and most viable guy to take the reins as president, but we have to see what he is doing. We have to see how available he is. I hope he is available. Okay, so getting back into it, we are building for the future, for 2024 and beyond. 2024 and beyond. And I like that. You want to know why? Because we don't have that damn desperate approach. When you're desperate, you are bound to make mistakes. Mistakes are going to happen when you are desperate. When you spend a ridiculous amount of money on high risk players, things are going to happen. So that's fine. That's fine. Change the philosophy. Go for 2024 and beyond. Have a more safer long-term approach like other organizations, like the Braves, like the Astros, like teams, up-and-coming teams like the Reds, like the Arizona Diamondbacks, other teams like the Texas Rangers. There are a lot of good young organizations. There are a lot of teams like the Astros and the Braves who have been doing this, the Dodgers, over a long period of time. And hopefully the Mets can emulate that philosophy, that sort of sustained success. So that is good to see. Now, the future, I would say, is getting a bit brighter. I mentioned Acuna is our number 2 prospect. Vasquez, who we just acquired, is our number 7 prospect. But we don't have many top pitching prospects. We don't. We just don't. All right? So Blade Tidwell is a top pitching prospect who I've been talking about. But besides that, guys like Mike Vassell and Calvin Ziegler, those guys, they're really not guarantees at all. They're really not. And I just want to go through our future right now, some top Mets prospects, and just really get a picture of what I'm talking about. I'm sure everybody's really familiar with some of the top guys: Kevin Parada, Ronnie Mauricio, Jet Williams, Alex Ramirez. And the funny thing is, I was looking at all the young shortstops / second basemen that we are accumulating. Jet Williams, Ronnie Mauricio, he's a shortstop. Acuna is a shortstop / second baseman. Jesus Baez, he's a little bit further down the line. He's a shortstop / third baseman. And of course, Vasquez, who we just acquired, he is Marco Vargas. He is also a second baseman, and he could play a bit of shortstop. So you got a lot of guys, a lot of top Mets prospects who play in the inner part of the diamond, shortstop / second baseman. So that position is filled. I mean, you have Francisco Lindor in the major leagues. You have Jeff McNeil, and the Squirrel McNeil has to be put in check. He really does. All these middle infielders who the Mets just recently acquired, and you have Acuna, who's basically breathing down his neck. He's set to be ETA to the major leagues next year. So I say trade Jeff McNeil. I would trade Jeff McNeil now. I really would. Before he further tanks his value, trade him now. He is not. He doesn't have any impressive stats on Baseball Savant. In fact, his Baseball Savant is extremely underwhelming. If anybody wants to pull up his numbers are almost little league-ish. He's batting below 250. He's got no power. Yes, he has versatility around the diamond, but on a team like the Mets right now, who aren't vying for like player positioning and don't have World Series aspirations anymore this year, a guy like Jeff McNeil holds little value. You'd rather invest in a younger guy who has higher upside, who's could be with the Mets a lot longer. So, Jeff, I got to say, the door is closing quickly. You better turn this around ASAP if the Mets don't trade you, because you got guys breathing down your neck and ready to take your job. Okay, and that leads me to this. If you notice, in the last couple of days, the Mets' supposed leadership in brass, Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor, they are stepping up. They're stepping up in post games. You hear them comment. You hear them take the leadership role on, and even on the field now. Pete Alonso, this is his hottest stretch in the last couple of months. You have Francisco Lindor, who has come on as of late. So these guys, and it really kind of bothers me that their friends, Scherzer, David Robinson, have to be traded and sent to different ball clubs for these guys to produce. These guys have talent. These guys are producing when you light a fire under them. Why do you have to do that to major league talent? I will never understand that for the life of me. I know guys who are on contract years, they produce because they want to make money, but you're major leaguers. You're professionals. You shouldn't have to only produce when there's something of incentive on the line for you specifically. No, that's not how it works. So the Mets, as a result of poor play, the team is going to be broken up, and the Met players only have themselves to blame. Pete Alonso recently made a couple comments how he was stunned about Max Scherzer leaving. You know, he mentioned that Max just bought a house, and you know, I thought that information maybe he shouldn't have said, because I don't think Max cares to tell the world that he bought real estate in New York. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But you could see Pete was shocked by it. I'm like, I don't understand why these guys are shocked. I really don't. You have a bunch of overpaid guys who don't have much value to the Mets beyond this season, like these impending free agents don't, and the team is not playing well. And we are paying the most money in Major League history. So there has to be an organization shift. It only is common sense, right? So you would think the players wouldn't be surprised. It's part of the business. But you see players who are surprised, and I don't know, maybe it's just a front in front of the cameras. Maybe Pete's just doing that. But I do like the fact that Pete is taking the microphone. So I commend Pete for being a leader on and off the field. He has to do that. He has it in him. And, Pete's going to be leading a young core of guys, Alvarez, Acuna, a bunch of guys coming up, and that's what I want to talk about next. I want to talk about the young Mets of 2024. 2024, our lineup could potentially consist of Ronnie Mauricio, Luis Angel Acuna, Francisco Alvarez, Brandon Nimmo, of course, Pete Alonso, and that right there is a very big core. Of course, you got Brett Beatty as well. Maybe Mark Vientos. You could have a couple other players depending on trades coming in. In the future, we have a guy like Alex Ramirez, who is set for 2024. He's an outfielder. We do need outfield help. Let's do this right now. So Nimmo would be in center field. Let's just say Alex Ramirez. I know he's slotted as a center fielder, but I don't know how he can play. But let's just say he can play right. You would have at third base Beatty. You would have at short Lindor. At second, let's put Acuna. At first, we have Pete. Behind the plate, we have Alvarez, of course. And left field, I'm missing a guy. Who am I missing? All right, well, I know I'm missing a guy, but look, that's a big, right there, that's a big look into the future. And luckily, most of the guys are already on the roster. You know, if we add one or two other top prospect guys, you add them right into the lineup. But like I said, we definitely need pitching. Okay, so let's talk about some of the rumors out there. Let's talk about that. So one of the rumors that I saw recently, and today is, we're almost going into Monday morning. It's late into Sunday night, Sunday evening. And the rumor that I saw involving the Phillies are interested in bolstering their lineup. They are interested in bolstering their outfield defense. And the two guys they have interest in are Tommy Pham and Mark Canha. Right? So Tommy Pham has been having a very resurgent season. He has been one of the most reliable hitters on the Mets throughout. And he actually has been a lot more dynamic of a player than I would have ever expected. Mark Canha is a reliable on-base guy. He's a professional hitter. He's a good guy in the clubhouse and on the field. He's a guy that you want on a winning team. So these two guys hold value. They do. But the problem is you're dealing with the Philadelphia Phillies. They are a rival. They are an in-division team. And how do you handle that? Okay, oh well. So this is what you do. If you're going to handle it, you're not going to worry about this year. You have Tommy Pham and Mark Canha. Mark Canha, I believe he has an option for next year, and Pham is an impending free agent. So these guys aren't going to be with the Phillies much longer. They are older players, so I don't think we have anything to fear about seeing these guys in the future. But you want them to pay up. You want the Phillies to pay up because they are in-division rival. So therefore, if the Phillies decide to overpay, I don't care. If the Phillies have the best trade offer on the market, you trade them to the Phillies. Regardless. I don't care about the end of this year. It's about 2024 and beyond. So if they're going to maximize that trade return, that package, you're going to trade them to the Phillies. Now, I was looking at the Phillies farm system, and they actually have potentially the best pitching prospect in baseball in Andrew Painter. I think he's the 8th rated pitcher in all of baseball. You're not going to get him for Tommy Pham, all right? And if that ever happened, the Phillies GM would be fired tomorrow. But I just wanted to mention that because this is a good, young, promising pitcher that I would hope the Mets would have a guy like this in the future. But obviously, that's not coming. That's not going to come back. But you do want to fleece the Phillies in another way. Okay, so now let's look at the next rumor. And the next rumor involves probably our best remaining chip, Justin Verlander. And now that is very interesting because on Sunday, so a day after Max Scherzer was traded, there were heavy rumors about Justin Verlander. And basically, the rumors were, what does Justin Verlander want? Does he want to remain a Met? Because he would have to waive his no-trade clause in order for him to go elsewhere. So where would Justin Verlander most likely want to play? He's not going to want to play in a team where he doesn't have a World Series chance or a team that isn't good. That's already off the table. And I say isn't good. Obviously, a team who's trading for Verlander is going to have aspirations to win. But we know that there is a handful of teams that can win the World Series, and so does Justin Verlander. So those are the teams he's going to want to go. The LA Dodgers, Houston Astros, those two teams kind of stand out to me. The Texas Rangers already got their guy. They already made their investments. And clap hands for the Texas Rangers. They have been extremely aggressive. They've made a couple additional moves besides Max Scherzer. So good for them. Good for the Texas Rangers. But getting back to Justin Verlander, the team I saw linked to him was the Houston Astros. So that would mean Justin Verlander would be going back to Houston, a place where he has been extremely successful. Houston is desperate for pitching. They are. They need a guy like Verlander who has led their rotation in the past and solidified that. Justin Verlander has been very successful in his last 7 or 8 starts, an earned run average close to 2, and he's been coming on as of late. So I think Houston would be interested in Justin, obviously. Now the thing is, they don't want to pay that much money. That was the issue with re-signing him. So Steve Cohen would have to open up his wallet. That being said, and this is where there's a lot of hurdles. So you have Justin Verlander having to waive his no trade clause. Steve Cohen having to pay up a lot of money, and then now you have Astros having to give a heck of a return because the price went up with the Max Scherzer trade. The Mets received a better prospect than believed that they would. Experts didn't think the Mets would get a value that high. They didn't think that the Mets would be able to get a top prospect. That being said, they did. Justin Verlander has been outperforming Scherzer, and he has more time left on the contract, so the team would be able to have him for a longer future. Therefore, the price is higher. So let's assume Steve Cohen eats a large chunk of the salary. Let's look at the Houston Astros farm system. Their top Astros top prospects. I just want to see something. I had one of the prospects marked off, but let's double check that. Okay. Yes. All right. So this is what I was looking at before. So their highest ranked pitching prospect, according to MLB.com, and I know MLB.com is not the best, is Colton Gordon. So he's a left-handed pitcher. His ETA is 2024, so he's ready. He's a ready-made pitcher. He is, like I mentioned, he's a lefty. He's 6'4", 225, so he's got a big build. Let's see. He's got a fastball scouting grade of 55, curveball 50, changeup 50, control 60, overall 45. I'm not really impressed with this guy. Stats. All right, well, stats last year pretty decent. Only 15 games. So in 15 games, he's 2-1 at 2.35 earner and average. Okay, he's a high strikeout guy. 53 innings pitched, 78 Ks, a 182 batting average against, .80 WHIP. So he's a guy that I would have to do a lot more research on. He's a lefty, which I like. Based on his age and based on the limited experience in the minor league system, I have to assume that he went to college and played in college. So I have to do more research on that. But okay, so that would be like a guy that the Mets would have to acquire back. They need pitching. But based on how they feel about Colton Gordon, and let's see, the next ranked pitcher is Spencer Arrighetti. And Spencer is, let's see, come on. All right, so Spencer has almost the same time trajectory. He's 23 years old. He's projected to come to the major leagues in 2024. He's got about almost the same overall grades. He's got an overall grade of 45. Let's look at his stats. His stats aren't the best. In the last 2 years, he's had an earner and average of high fours, so mid fours to be exact. 17-12 on the minor leagues, 4.36. So, I mean, the Mets would just really have to do their homework on who they see has high potential, a high ceiling. I just pulled up their top 10, so I haven't done any homework on the Astros farm system. I know very little. I just, from looking at MLB.com, their top 6 prospects are all outfielders. So, I mean, we do need outfield assistance too, so, that wouldn't be that bad, but we desperately need pitching. So I got to say, if you're going to trade Justin Verlander, you damn well better get pitching back. All right. Okay. And one more thing, and I had a couple people ask me about this, so I went to look this up. So everybody was asking, what was the exact number that we would carry on the books for Max Scherzer going into next year? So how much exactly to the T that we would be paying Max Scherzer for 2024? So I got that figure right here, and it actually says it's an estimate, but it's pretty darn close. And that estimate is we would be paying Mad Max $26 million, 26,808, so about almost $27 million. going into 2024, I got that number on Fangraphs. I believe it's accurate. So we are saving a chunk of change. Max was due $43 million. So we save something. And next year, it looks like the projected payroll, just very early estimates. So with the luxury tax this year, we're about 370. 2024, with the luxury tax, we would be at 231. So we have a slight decrease. Arbitration agents, arbitration eligible players have to sign, so that always boosts the payroll right up. But we really got to see what the Mets do, because the payroll situation may change drastically. It does look good to see this. I got to say, when I bring up the Mets payroll, I used to see $43 million on the top, $43 million on the top, then 34 of Francisco Lindor. And it is nice to see only one $43 million like waste of money. And now we have Lindor of 34. And then you have Nimmo and Marte making about $20 million apiece as the next highest guys on the team. So this is what I have for you right now. I apologize. I'm sorry that the video went a little long and it was a bit dragging, but we had a lot of stuff to cover in this video. If you've made it to the end of the video, you are the greatest. I really appreciate that. Please like and please subscribe. We have a lot of stuff to cover. This is a very busy time at the trade deadline. I apologize. I wish I could do more. Like, I got work at 5:30 in the morning, so I want to get a couple hours sleep. But I want you to get my opinion on the latest news. So thank you so much. Let's go Mets. It can't get any worse, but it probably will. That's going to be our new motto. Been saying that for the last couple months. It's been coming true. So have a great day. Thank you as always for watching, listening, commenting, all that you do. Thank you. I can't appreciate it more. Have a great night or morning whenever you are listening to this.